What's up, everybody? Hadn't heard from me in a while, but I'm here now. How you doing? It's Tuesday Rant. It's I've had it time, which is pretty much every day. But what's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, Michael Johns? What's up, Bry? What's up? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What's up? How you guys doing? How are you? Welcome. Welcome. So let's just get off to a stellar start. Um, we're in the second year of the Trump administration, and it is going swimmingly. Okay, it's not going swimmingly in the way that uh so we're still surrounded by the communist left, and these are the reincarnation of Mao and the Mao Zedong children from communist China. Like these individuals, the more of these videos that I see, it's semi-reminiscent of the Chaz and Chop thing that happened during 2020, but it's worse. I think it's worse because they have thrown all caution to the wind, and these are according to G Van Fleet. I watched her in an interview with a guy called America Dad Saves America. It's worth a watch over on YouTube. He's a really interesting guy, and he has some great guests on there, but he also does great commentary. And he had G Van Fleet on there. She talked about the communist takeover and how Mao Zedong, it's the same thing that we are seeing in this country. I never, when I had to study this in high school, in junior high, I never thought that I would see it like in real life, because you're supposed to learn from the past. You're supposed to learn lessons from past mistakes. That's why you study history, is so you do not repeat the mistakes of it. But these people are walking dead into it. And one of the things that G Van Fleet, G is a woman who immigrated here in the 80s, the mid 80s. I think she said 1986. And she came to America from communist China. She had been raised in communism. I've met people who are actual, like, card carrying Chinese communists myself, and their way of thinking is not like ours. And that's why communism needs to be completely outlawed. Islamists, all this bullshit that these cultures and their religions go completely antithetical to the Constitution and to Christendom, they all need to be removed. Because that shit is hard to get rid of. That's hard to, like, that is hard to get rid of. That is hard to unbrainwash people who have been raised to think one certain way. So anyway, G Van Fleet talked about exactly what's happening now, because they get them from the time that they are children, and they raise them to think that they're what she referred to as is reminiscent in the movie and book 1984 by George Orwell. They're the proletariat. There are the ones who rise up, the young people who do the patrols, who are doing what I saw earlier in a video, was the young people were patrolling and setting up their own personal checkpoints. Like, these are not any type of law enforcement. They are just individuals who went to these communist like anti-ICE training courses. The fuck? And they set up their own checkpoints in Minneapolis, for example, and they stop people coming into certain neighborhoods to check to see if they are affiliated with ICE. Bro, we can't have that in this country. We can't have it. We already tried the experiment with Chaz and Chop. People were murdered, property was destroyed, money was stolen, girls were raped, like beatings happened. They tried to grow food, but they're too stupid to do anything that creates life. So they just destroy it. Anyway, G. Van Fleet talks about being raised in communism, and like she had to assimilate to American culture, and she had to become an American. But now she loves America. She calls America her home and her country. She doesn't call China her home. She left there. So she educates people now on the dangers of communism. But some of these retards, they're already invested. They're already, oh, Bry said, you're in Seattle. See, you know it. And yes, I appreciate that. God bless you. And we got to do what we can to help the president. What's up, Roger Vasala? How you doing, brother? What's up? Good evening. Thank you. It's good to see you. What's up? Yeah, I was gonna just call it a night because I've been gone all day, but I figure we gotta talk about this stuff. This is very important, and we're living in crazy, treacherous times. So let's just keep the party going. G. Van Fleet, you should look her up and check out her instructions and her point of view from her life growing up in communist China under Mao, like the Mao. She grew up under that regime and she saw it fall. So she's very well versed in communism and how it destroys people. And she's seeing it happen in this country with Zorhan Mamdani, Muhammad. And she cannot believe that this is actually happening. Like, why is a civilized society, why are you subscribed to communism? So anyway, there's that. Check out G. Van Fleet. But one of the main things that I wanted to talk about is Kaitlin Collins. She is such a, I don't know, a tortured individual. She's tortured. And that's why I said in the description, she probably just needs to get laid. She's too uptight, too wound backward in the brain or something. I don't know what's going on with her, but she asks questions that are really inappropriate for the time. And she did that today, and at a press conference where they weren't even talking about anything having to do with this certain subject that the Democrats hope that you like go ahead and try to forget about now that they have just banged the drums about it for the last 1, 2, carry the 3, carry the 1, about the last year. Now they want you to shut up about it. Okay, so Kaitlin Collins did a stupid thing, and I think I can pull it in. I'm not really sure. I haven't done this in a minute, so, and I just kind of got home, and let me see if I can remember how to do this. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring it in. There's like, oh, okay. I think I got it. Dang, this changed. What the hell? Anyway, she just asks inappropriate questions. And like nobody else is in this mode except her, because she works for CNN, the communist nonsense network. and she just doesn't have a moment of like thinking. It's all about just gotcha questions, and just they haven't been able to destroy Trump after trying very, 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 very hard for 10 years. He's still kicking, alive and kicking. Yeah, and he's the president again. He would have been in 2020, but y'all bastards cheated, because that's what you do. You cheat. So I don't even know anybody who believes that they didn't cheat. But anyway, here she is with her weird face, asking the wrong question at the wrong time, because that's what CNN does. And if individuals like her and Abby Phillip are any indication, then you should kind of get it. She just doesn't have any class, and the president put her in her place. So here we are. Let's check it out.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out.
Care.
Do you think that they should be more transparent?
They thought they released too much. I heard that, and you tell me something else.
I don't care.
I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else, really. Now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
But what would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go
What
ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten justice?
You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile.
Well, I'm asking you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein.
You're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization.
Okay, there's a couple of things to unpack. It was a short video, but there's a couple of things to unpack, and I may refer to it again. I'll take it away for just a second. But one of the things that she asked was, so what do you have to say for victims? What about the victims, the victims, the victims? I got a few things to say about the victims. Number one, Kaitlin Collins. And somebody, if you are on X, tag her in this video, because I really want her to see what people think of her. First of all, Kaitlin, where were you the last 4 years? How come you didn't bring up Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein so-called files the last 4 years? How come you just now bringing it up? How come now is the time that when Trump is in there, that's the only time y'all seem to, y'all meaning CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, MS Now, whoever you're calling yourselves this week, that's the only time y'all seem to care about the Epstein anything. You don't even, y'all have had control of the House, the Senate, the executive, the three-letter agencies. You turned communist Marxist tactics in Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky on the American citizens. You turned them things that were meant for fighting against foreign powers. You turned everything inward to fight against American citizens, and you spent 4 years on January 6th. You didn't care about Epstein victims. You didn't even mention it, Kaitlin Collins. None of you did. None of you creeps who now are still with CNN. You've been with CNN the whole time. You never mentioned it. Not one word, not one single solitary word did we hear about Epstein for 4 years. We didn't hear shit about affordability. We didn't hear shit about anything but January 6th. The unselect committee and all of the things that they did to infringe upon the rights, every single amendment in the Constitution against American citizens. You threw them in prison with no trial, no attorney, no access to anything that's even small toiletries. You locked them away in solitary for 18 to 24 months. Some of these people, the only reason they ever got out was because President Trump pardoned them. Y'all didn't give one shit in a continental damn about Jeffrey Epstein's victims the last 4 years. Now, all of a sudden, Kaitlin Collins wants to start talking about victims. So there's that part of it. Number two, Kaitlin Collins, and to the so-called victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Let me tell y'all something. These files are out here. Okay. The information is being released. What needs to be redacted, which is a small amount, is being redacted. There is transparency and truth. The original emails that are being released, and they're probably going to end up releasing the pictures and videos but hiding the victims' images and blurring out the victims. Okay. So to the so-called victims, why weren't you loud and out here the last 4 years? Everything y'all could have done under the last 4 years of the administration that you prefer, you stayed silent. Why is it now that Trump is in there? I demand justice. I demand justice. I've got to have justice. He owes me justice. I need justice. Why didn't you need justice when Biden and Harris were in there? You skipped 4 years that you did not need justice. You just figured out in 2025 and 2026 that you need justice. Because I seem to recall the victims in front of the Capitol back in July of 2025 saying, we want transparency. We want the files released. We want the names. We got the names, but we're waiting for the Department of Justice. Release the files, release the files, release the files. Now, these same individuals who claim that they're victims of Jeffrey Epstein, you don't want now you want the information to stop coming out. We saw you in July. We watched you in front of the Capitol. We watched your attorney standing there with you and actually defended President Trump, saying and confirming what we already knew, but hadn't been fully released like it's being released now. Y'all said, hold on. Let's just do it. You know, since they want to claim that, now they want everything to stop cold because all of this information is coming out that is incriminating the Democrats. They don't want to talk about it no more. They want all the release to stop for the sake of their privacy. But wait a minute, you back in July, you said that you wanted the information released. Now you don't. I mean, hold on. Hold, please. Oh. Okay. Let's let the commercial fly through because that's what happens. Okay, here we go. So here, how the hell did I do that? Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta learn to do this correctly. This was back in July of last year. These are Epstein's victims. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll play part of it. They're up there along with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Ro Khanna and a couple of other Democrats, but they wanted the files released. But now they're pulling back saying, whoa, wait a minute. though they were threatening, we got the list, we know who's on the list, but you never divulged the information to the public when y'all been demanding that the Trump Justice Department and the Trump FBI, you got to drop it like it's hot. You didn't demand it of Biden, but you demand it now. Listen just a little bit.
I was only 14 years old when I met Jeffrey. It was the summer of high school. I was working 3 jobs to try to support my mom and my sister when a friend of mine in the neighborhood told me that I could make $300 to give an older guy a massage. It went from a dream job to the worst nightmare. They have documents with my name on them that were confiscated from Jeffrey Epstein's house and could help me put the pieces of my own life back together. But I don't have any of it. And I know the same is true for many of these women.
And I was 16 years old when I was flown to New Mexico to spend a weekend with Epstein and Maxwell.
Yep.
That same year, 1996,
Yep.
my sister, Maria Farmer, reported what happened to me there, along with reporting her own assault at their hands and their theft of sensitive photos of herself, of me, and our younger sister that she had taken for her work as a figurative painter.
Yep.
I am now 46 years old.
Clearly.
30 years later, Epstein and his associates were allowed to harm hundreds, if not thousands, of other girls and young women.
We are not asking for pity. We are here demanding accountability, and I'm demanding justice. Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors?
So over and over and over and over, on and on till the break of dawn, these females wanted the files released. That was, I just showed you from last year, July of last year, they all went to DC. Those were the victims. Okay. While Kaitlin Collins says what about the justice and what about the victims and the victims? Kaitlin Collins is, well, she claims to be a journalist, but she's an activist pretending, cosplaying as a journalist. Not one phone call to one victim in 30 years. Not one phone call to any victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Nothing. She never said one word of comfort. She never asked him, I'm a journalist, but I'm not calling to get a story from you. I'm just calling to check on you and see maybe how you're doing. Not once. Now Kaitlin Collins stands in front of the president in the Oval Office and asks a dumb question when Trump is surrounded by people who are glad that he is accomplishing things to keep America first. This crazy bitch is asking about Epstein's victims. Well, as I just showed you, Epstein's victims don't care about. Clearly, Epstein's victims just want to keep being victims. That was 30 years ago. I need y'all to get out of the limelight. All you, every single one of you who are in these court documents, who were represented by lawyers in this case against the estate of Jeffrey Epstein, you got paid. You got banked. You got paid. Hate it for you. Sorry that happened to you. But, other little girls don't get compensated and they get molested by family members. You ain't the only ones. I'm saying it because we got important business to take care of in this country. And the only one who's going to do it clearly is President Trump. We are not going to spend valuable time capital on something that happened 30 fucking years ago that we cannot go back and change. I'm going to say it because nobody else is saying it. You can keep living in the past if you want, because I reiterate, there are millions of little girls that nasty shit gets done to them and they never get justice ever in any form. not monetary, not support, not in any type of justice. Spend the next 3 valuable years of the 250th anniversary of this country, and number 2, the golden age, and people being able to live better under Donald Trump, because no other politician is going to do it. We're screwed. You understand? He's the only one who has truly moved policies and worked for America first. Nobody else has done that. Nobody else has done that. So my point to you victims and Kaitlin Collins, we're not going to spend all 3 years on Jeffrey Epstein's dead ass. Or y'all, you got what you got. If you all want to write a book to share with the world, do it. I highly encourage it. It is therapeutic. Take all the counseling and therapy you need, but you're not going to clog up the system with a bunch of whining and crying and trying to keep this shit in the forefront of our minds. People got to pay bills. People have to repair their lives after 4 years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and them letting 50 million illegals in here to replace us. And Trump is the only one who's getting them up out of here and giving us a chance to be better and to live better and truly be free. And by that, I mean financial freedom and freedom of choice and whatever it is that the Constitution by God gives us access to. I am an American citizen. I was born here. My parents were born here. We are American citizens, okay? Victims of Jeffrey Epstein, y'all gonna have to figure it out. It has been 30 years. That dude is gone, all right? You're not gonna clog up everything with your little moron Kaitlin Collins and CNN and anybody else who wants to keep talking about this shit. You begged for the files to be released back in July. I just showed the video. Now the same victims are saying, well, no, well, we don't need to, well, we need to back off because privacy. No. It don't work that way. No, Pandora's box has been opened. The Democrats demanded it. They demanded that the Epstein files be released. Okay, fine. They're out here. Who's implicated? Who's implicated? Is it who you thought it was? Is it who you wanted it so bad to be? No, it isn't. It isn't. And that's why they're hot ass, red ass mad. Because, you know, Trump ain't all through there. Oh, here's a letter. Oh, here's an email. Oh, here's a this and oh, here's a that. They don't want nothing to do with it now. All the fake emails that they tried to insert is the reason why they wanted their files to be released. They wanted their version of it to be released. They didn't want the testimony of Ghislaine Maxwell. They didn't want her talking about it. They didn't care what she had to say. They wanted what they installed in these so-called files to be released by Kash Patel and the FBI and Pam Bondi and the DOJ. They wanted what they had to say. They didn't want you to see what was actually the truth. So now y'all wanted it, you got it. To Epstein's victims, I'm going to say it. And if you need to hear it again, I'm going to tell you again. We are not going to spend the next 4 years holding your damn hand and ignoring the real problems in this country, which now is a freaking red-green alliance, a damn communist takeover, and a color revolution in this country. We ain't gonna have a country if we spend all 4 years of Trump's administration. Oh, you poor poor dear. Oh, you poor. Oh, okay. All right. That's enough. That's enough. Do your own private things. Y'all got paid. You got some money. Take a vacation. Go off grid. Go do something. Get out of the public limelight. But we ain't going to deal with you. We can't coddle you for 4 more years, because guess what? You're going to go back into hiding when Trump is gone, because you ain't going to care about it. Because that's the way that shit happens. They only care about it when it's Trump in there. Well, he knew Jeffrey Epstein. All of Hollywood back then knew Jeffrey Epstein and went to Little St. James Island. What? Trump ain't in there. Elon is mentioned, but he's not in there the way y'all want him in there. And it's one time. You got Reid Hoffman all throughout the damn emails. Bill Gates all up in Little St. James Island. Give him some antibiotics for the STD he caught from French hookers or Russian hook. What the fuck? But you want to talk about Trump? Bill Clinton went there almost 40 freaking times to Little St. James Island. Not once have they mentioned Bill Clinton. Not once. Look these emails. There are 3 million documents. That takes a while to go through. But you know what? What y'all were trying to do on the Democrat side, you wanted to drag it out to the midterms. You wanted to give out a little dabble, do you? A little bit to keep the president bogged down with your garbage. And it got completely turned around on y'all. Now y'all gonna be the ones getting a little bit here, and it's gonna build, and it's gonna build, and it's gonna build. Y'all the ones who get to be scared now. Why do you think George Clooney left here? Why do you think him and his wife and his family are now French citizens? They're not American. They renounced their citizenship here. I think they did. Or they should have their passports revoked. All of them. They shouldn't be allowed back here. Live in France. You made all your money here. But yeah, bye. Because France doesn't do extradition. So of course, they're now French citizens. They're not American citizens. That's going to be a problem because France has been overrun by Islamist sub-Saharan Africans and Middle Easterners. So good luck, George. And I don't believe in luck. Ellen DeGeneres left here with her wife, Portia de Rossi. Them ugly bitches were gone 1 year and couldn't stand it. Where'd they go? Scotland or Ireland or some damn where? Couldn't stand it. They had to come back here. Where? I'm sorry. Where? To the good old USA. You know why? Because there's nowhere like it on planet Earth. She's just going to have to take her beatings. Oh, I needed to be where my family and my, shut up. Shut up. You couldn't stand the weather in wherever in Western Europe. It's cloudy. It's gloomy. The people are mean. You moved to the middle of nowhere. What the hell did you think was going to happen? Portia ain't interesting. So that didn't last very long. It's going to be quite a few individuals who jump ship. Even Chuck Schumer is in the information that's been released. So I really don't even know how he's still allowed to be at the head of the minority Senate leader. How is that possible? Y'all threw George Santos out for what, campaign finance violation? Han Omar gets to stay. Chuck Schumer, who is literally in the Epstein files several times, he gets to stay, but not George Santos. Wow. Interesting. What's up, Bob? What's up, Bob? How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Got to check on you. I missed some of the comments. Patricia said they thought Donald Trump wasn't going to deal. Wasn't going to be released. And now they're in a panic. It's too late. Y'all wanted it. Y'all begged for it. Y'all demanded it. There's video after video after video after video after video after video of politicians on the Democrat side demanding that the files be released. And what's the thing with Ilhan Omar? They're trying to garner sympathy for her. So they staged some fake apple cider vinegar attack. What the? Oh boy. And now she doesn't want the guy who supposedly attacked her. She doesn't want it investigated. Too bad. So sad. You know, you Somali pirates. She said, oh, as soon as I did too. Patricia, I knew it too. We all knew it. It's like, bitch, nobody cares. Nobody's going to attack you for what? And by the way, the attacker, or excuse me, air quotes, attacker, is on the crank far left. He donated to Democrats. He's part of this anti-ICE bullshit. He's on the left. He's trans and involved with trans bullshit. He's not MAGA. So they are in such they're in such desperation mode that they're sloppy. Ilhan Omar is getting sloppy because the bitch is nervous. She's never been nervous before the whole time since 2018. This is the first time that she's slipping. She's nervous because they found out about her fake wine company. That wine is nowhere. There's no wine. That somebody created a little logo and pretended there's a release. The wineries never existed. Her husband, yep, the white one, not the black ones, but the white one. Tim Minette, I think his name is. Yeah. So he, I think he was sued. What's up, John Bartley? Thank you, brother, for reposting the stream. I appreciate you. I think he was sued for defrauding investors having to do with that winery. So all of this time, there's no wine, no bottles, no location. When they, I think it was Benny Johnson there, and let me see. Oh, Benny Johnson. What is yeah. Here it is. Let's commercial. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Let's look at a little bit of this. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but it's definitely worth paying a little bit of attention to because this shit is crazy. And this wasn't part of the rant, but whatever. We're just going with it. This is Benny Johnson.
Family. Pirate Winery. This is our home.
What's up, guys? Spenny. Ilhan Omar was attacked last night when some doofus got up and sprayed her with apple cider vinegar out of a syringe. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. The common and harmless household cooking and cleaning product was sprayed at Ilhan Omar, and there still is absolutely no explanation as to why.
Right.
Many people are saying that it is staged, including the president of the United States, who says he wouldn't be surprised if Ilhan Omar probably had herself sprayed in a syringe attack. Protect Trump at all costs. We will never get another one. Trump says, I don't think about her. I think she's a fraud. She probably had a spray knowing her. Well, a lot of people are responding to this controversy saying this attack is as fake as Ilhan Omar's winery. And the reason they're saying that is because we exposed Ilhan Omar's 100% fake winery, provable, by the way, in court, that Ilhan Omar is claiming millions of dollars of assets against. It's very odd accounting, very crazy levels of fraud going on here. That doesn't make any sense. And we discovered the ghost winery based on her congressional reports. Now, a couple of quick things here before we dive into why we know this is fake, because we've done our investigation. We've called the winery. We've seen it. We've pulled the paperwork and we've pulled the lawsuits, and you can see all of it here. But what is a Muslim? You know, she wears a hijab and everything, is practicing Muslim. What is she doing owning a winery? Can Muslims drink wine? This is a good question. No, Muslims are not allowed to drink wine or any form of alcohol, according to mainstream Islamic teaching.
And this is correct. I'll tell you another reason why I know. When my husband was stationed, or when he was deployed over to Iraq, for example, complete dry. No alcohol was allowed anywhere in the country. No alcohol in Afghanistan. No alcohol in Muslim countries. No alcohol. The soldiers could not have like a beer, or there was nowhere to go and get wine or beer because it was not allowed in Iraq. You're not, no wine, no beer, nothing alcoholic. So Benny is correct in that reporting, or wherever he is getting that information. And it was the same when my husband was deployed there. You cannot drink wine in these countries unless you're somewhere like Dubai, I think maybe. Some of these countries are a little less stringent because they're tourist destinations. Iraq is not a tourist destination. So no, you cannot drink alcohol. Go ahead, Benny.
Okay. Can Muslims own wineries? No, Muslims are not permitted to own wineries or any business involved in producing, selling, or profiting from alcohol, according to mainstream Islamic teaching. It's a little it's odd there.
Very odd.
So what's going on with Ilhan Omar and her winery? We investigated. This has since gone viral and made international news. Here you go. I just investigated Ilhan Omar's official financial disclosures, and what I found was so dark and criminal. I don't know how she gets out of this without going to jail. Have a look at this. Here's Ilhan Omar's financial disclosure from the Congressional Record, year 2023. I want to bring your attention to this company right down here, Est Crew LLC. This is a winery in Santa Rosa, California. It's not doing that well. The total value of the winery is listed at $15,000, and Ilhan Omar's barely making any money off of it at all. Hardly enough to pay a parking ticket. Okay, that's fine. Nothing really mysterious there. Businesses fail all the time. Go ahead and look at her filing for 2024, and you'll find that Est Crew Winery, the same company in the same location, is now worth $5 million. Wow. That's incredible, up from $15,000. And now Ilhan Omar's making enough to pay rent. So this must be one of the most successful companies ever. Let's go ahead and check in on this winery. You know, maybe we could buy some wine. I like wine. Why not? Let's see if we can buy some Est Crew Winery. Here's Est Crew's social media Facebook page. You'll see here that the last post, was in 2023. Wasn't this the year that they were supposed to, go really big and make Ilhan Omar millions of dollars? Same thing on their Instagram, and they don't have an X. So let's go ahead and check their official website. What is Est Crew? We are winemakers and memory curators. Okay, Est Crew Winery has a bunch of brands that's led by these people. creators of eye-catching labels. So I'm sure I can go and get some of their wine, right? Well, they don't have any activities here. So maybe I could just go to their location and buy some of their wines, or maybe give them a call. Let's try and go to their location here. This is the Google Street View of Est Crew Winery, and what you'll find here is an empty parking lot. Doesn't actually look like an operational business. Certainly isn't the same name. So, okay, let's go ahead and give them a call. See if maybe they pick up. Let's go ahead and call the number on the webpage. Let's go ahead and give them a call and find out. Oh no, user busy. Let's try that. Okay. Well, I've done this like 20 times today. Okay. So that didn't work. Is there any wine in this wine company? Is there anything about wines? Because I see like stuff about events, but like, what is this exactly? Aren't you supposed to sell wine at your wine company? Where are your wines? Oh, there are no wines. You want to know why? Because this is a fake company.
Right.
Rep. Ilhan Omar's husband accused of swindling investors in their California winery.
Uh-oh. That's what I was talking about. Investors in this so-called winery. Doesn't Gavin Newsom have a winery? Is there really wine at his winery? Now I'm starting to doubt. Unless it's Devin Nunes. Devin Nunes has a winery and there's actual wine. He loves growing these grapes and he loves being a wine connoisseur. So Devin Nunes, I'll buy his wine all day long. But Gavin Newsom, I would not buy wine from him. And you can't buy wine from Ilhan Omar or her husband's so-called winery because they don't have one. It's 100% fake, as it doesn't exist. There's no winery, there's no wine. So that's what I wanted to kind of share with you, was Benny Johnson and his coverage of that story with Ilhan Omar in the winery and discovering there's no wine. Well, I think the attack, so-called attack happened right after that was exposed. And East Street Crew is the name of supposedly the name of the winery. Wasn't that the company or consulting firm that Tim Minette, her husband, came from when he worked with Keith Ellison in Minneapolis? I think it was called East Street Partners or East Street something or another. I'm just going on memory. But so that's what they named their winery. It's actually kind of mocking the public and laughing at us. So Tim Minette, her husband, her white husband, got a bunch of investors and they defrauded them because they never got paid because there's no wine. But she's still in Congress. Yep. Patricia, all the way to the freaking bank with our money. While American citizens can barely afford to survive, this little Somali pirate creep is just laughing with $30 million of our money. Interesting. But George Santos got thrown out for much less. Unbelievable. So the SAVE Act, let's just, yeah, I'm thinking he's working on it too, Patricia. That's what I keep telling myself. I'm trying not to get completely black-pilled here, but when you stand back and wonder, why is she still able to even speak freely? Why is she not on the first thing smoking? She's not going back to Somalia. I'm going to tell you that right now. When it's time for that bitch to be deported, she's going to Qatar. She's not going to Somalia. She is not going back to Somalia because things ain't going to go well for her if she goes back to that country. She claims, I work for Somalia. I love my people. I love my people. I work for my people. I love my people. Yeah, bitch, you ain't going back to Somalia. You done stole too much money from America. You ain't going back to Somalia. And Somalia, they're financially struggling. But then every country on earth that has been getting USAID money and NGO money from us are about to collapse. We've been funding the whole world. We have been funding the whole world. The whole world has been waiting on an American taxpayer check for decades. But, you know, a little bit about the SAVE Act that they do not seem to want to pass. I thought I had something up about it already. It seems that I don't. So, let's see. Brother. No. 3 days. I'm trying to get the most updated, blah, blah. What? Hold, please. 2 days, blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Okay, this is Fox News, and this is like 8 hours ago. I think John Thune, of course, the Senate leader, has cold feet, and he does not want to break the filibuster and pass the SAVE Act to basically save America from these Democrat crank bar leftist communists. So him and the Senate are facing backlash, and this is Fox News by way of MSN, because that's what this thing has here. Hold on. Okay, I'll play after the ad. Hold, please. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Yeah, John Thune doesn't want to be responsible. He doesn't want to be the one to pass this through, even though it would guarantee pretty much it would, let's just say it would in at least mostly ensure freer and fairer elections, voter ID, same day voting, hand counted ballots. But let's listen to this Fox News broadcast.
There's been a lot of news under the surface about the SAVE Act. This is a bill to safeguard our elections and require proof of U.S. citizenship before voting, among other provisions. Now, our conversation on this started with Scott Pressler, who has been calling on Senate Majority Leader John Thune to allow a vote every day since January 1st. Earlier this month, Scott joined me here to make his case.
The American people demand Senate Majority Leader John Thune bring a vote on the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. And let's have.
Might I say, Scott Pressler has luxurious hair. And it smells good in person. He has luxurious hair. Go ahead.
A proof of citizenship to register to vote. We have this one moment in history with Donald Trump at the helm, with a trifecta Republican government. I say nuke the gosh darn filibuster, pass law after law after law.
Yep.
That interview went viral and senators went into action. Senator John Cornyn said he spoke to Leader Thune about the SAVE Act. Senators Katie Britt and Dave McCormick signed on as co-sponsors, and several others like Rick Scott ramped up his support publicly. Here's Senator Scott last week.
However we do this, all right, whether it's part of the spending bill this week, whether it's a separate bill, whether we have to stay there and do a standing filibuster, whatever it's going to take. We got to get this passed. We've got to secure our elections. I can't imagine a Republican senator that would vote against, making sure that you have to have proof of citizenship to register to vote and to vote. Now, well, how could anybody? I don't know how.
Oh, sorry, another ad.
How a Democrat could be against this.
Yeah. After that interview came an avalanche of support for the SAVE Act. You see it here. The tally now sits at 49 co-sponsors, and Senate Majority Leader John Thune said this week he will allow a vote.
They are still modifying the bill. It includes right now a requirement that you be a citizen to register to vote, but it doesn't include a requirement that to vote you be a resident. That's been fixed and addressed, and I think the new bill that comes out hopefully will deal with that. But I mean, at some point we'll have that vote.
Tennessee Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn, who's a co-sponsor, joins me now. Senator Blackburn, as we look at this, I believe there are either 4 or 5 Republican holdouts, and I'm curious, what's the holdup for some of your Republican colleagues?
Well, I never speak for my colleagues, Kaylee, but I will tell you this. It is important that people be a citizen, that they show proof of citizenship to register and to vote. And
why do we have to justify this? I'm just, I'll I don't need to go much further about that. John, that's a screen, honey. But thank you. That would be nice if I could have that home with that nice grand piano. I would really like that with the view and everything. Yeah, no, that's not my crib. But thank you. It's a background, my darling. Why do we have to ask permission to have free and fair elections in our country? I cannot go if I move to Costa Rica tomorrow. I can't go vote in their elections. If I move to Brazil, I cannot vote in their elections. If I move, no matter how long I'm there, it does not matter. Does not matter. I cannot vote in their elections. El Salvador, I cannot go there. Mexico, I cannot go there and vote. I cannot go to Indonesia and vote. I cannot move to South Korea and vote. I cannot move, definitely can't vote in China. I cannot go to France and vote because I'm not a French citizen. I cannot go as an American citizen to any country on earth and vote in their elections. Why the hell are we wasting time and money? Like, the 15th Amendment was for Black slaves that had been freed in the South by way of the Emancipation Proclamation, for Black slaves to be able to vote in American elections. Like, the 14th Amendment was for citizenship. The 13th Amendment was for freedom. Like, do you know what my grandparents, my great-grandparents had to do in order to vote in this country? They chase you through the fucking woods with the bloodhounds. Like, you get water hosed if you got too close to the polling station because they didn't want Black folks voting. But now the Democrats are fighting tooth and nail for illegal aliens who are not citizens to vote, and I'm supposed to vote Democrat. Unfreaking believable. Yeah, Patricia. Oh, well, thank you. Yes, this is not my house, but thank you, my love. Patricia says, other countries don't waste time on that. They just say it like it is, as if you were born here. Yeah, you can't vote. Why are we going through all this? Why are we even discussing it? No, you can't vote. Get out. What you gonna do? file a lawsuit in a foreign country as an American citizen, let us know how far you get with that before they throw you out and probably throw you in a prison. Has anybody seen the massive censorship that is going on in Western Europe? How they're taking X to court because there's too much freedom of speech on the X platform? Okay. They don't allow foreigners to vote in other countries. I am not, as an American citizen, George Clooney is not going to be able to vote in French elections. Even though he went over there and became a French citizen, he's still not going to be able to vote. So he can moan, bitch, whine, and complain when Islamists break into his house and steal his shit, and it ain't gonna be nothing he can do. He's gonna be trying to beat it back to the United States. Watch it. Hi, Susan Marie. That's funny, right? Oh, shoot. Yeah, stay where you at, George. Keep you and your foreign wife. Y'all stay over there. We don't need you here. The only thing he did I liked was Ocean's 11. And that was just the first, maybe the second one was good too. I have no use for George Clooney after that. His mother, Rosemary Clooney, was a famous Hollywood actress. That's the only reason he's in Hollywood, because his mother, Rosemary Clooney, was a famous actress. So whatever. Ugh. Why are we discussing this? Oh, wait a minute. This is Black History Month. I'm going to write that to Leader John Thune. You going to diss me on Black History Month? You going to diss me and try to cancel out my vote with an illegal. Why don't you just pass the SAVE Act? Stop being a pussy. What do we hire these people for? What do we, and then at the same time, they're all trying to get elected. They're all trying to get elected. That's why there's 49, I think there's 49 senators who have signed on so far. It would be nice if we could get John Fetterman. I know he's on our side. I know he's aligned with this. So now we got to fight to keep our right as American citizens to be the only ones voting in our damn country. Every day. It's a fight every day. You can't lean on your rake. I made that video the other day. You cannot lean on your rake. I'm sorry. I hate it for you, but who said famously that, was it Ronald Reagan? I can't recall. It's a republic if you can keep it. You got to fight for it, because these communist ass, color revolution ass, monkey Marxists is not going to let you just sit there and take what they think belongs to them. They're not going to let you do it. You're going to have to fight the monkey Marxists for your own shit as American citizens. Because see, they've already, in their UN migration pact, they've already replaced us. They have no use for Black folks anyway. You notice now it's only protect illegals. Getting rid of ICE and fighting against ICE and all this anti-ICE bullshit that they're doing. The premise for all of this is protecting illegal aliens. They don't give a damn about all of the violence in Chicago against like Black on Black crime. They don't care. They don't care. They don't talk about it. They don't address it. They don't try to fix it. Brandon Johnson, that cosplay mayor who was only a teacher for like 2 years. Did he do anything else? What did he work at the Foot Locker or something before that? He is a lackey, and a chump for illegals. You don't care about black folks. See, Brandon Johnson is running back to black folks now because he thinks he's got a chance to be reelected. It's really weird. But why do we have to fight so hard to get the SAVE Act passed? Why do we have to have legislation in 2026 to protect the Americans' vote? Why do we have to protect ourselves against communists who want to flood us with illegals so the Democrats stay in power forever? Good question. ICE, let's talk a little bit about that. It's getting late and we're not going to stay on here much longer because I came on a little later. So I appreciate you and I thank you for rocking with me. But let's check this out because these dumbass Antifa types are doing their ICE watch bullshit and getting in trouble or getting dead. So this time they're getting in trouble.
Hey, you need to back up. You need to back up. Stay safe. They're pointing handguns at the drivers in the vehicle right now. Hey, get back. You guys need to stay back. You can record, but you gotta be back. Hey, open the fucking door. I need you to back up a little bit more. Hey, get back. Hey, get the fuck back. Back.
Get out, stupid.
Hey, no, don't get on the road.
Yeah, it's at this point that these individuals, that shit starts to get real. See, these are obviously younger people who are in this little Honda Passport. They've been following ICE agents around and stalking them. That is a federal crime, you dumb shits. That is a federal crime. That is a federal crime. I was a federal employee. I will continue to talk about this. You cannot do this. I know y'all think that they have empowered these individuals just like they did in 2020. They give them a little power, and like they did with the masks, they scream at you, and they had a little power because they work at Sprouts or Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. And if you came in without a mask, what did we call them? The mask Nazis, the maskabators. We call them all kinds of names and euphemisms because they were awful. But it's the little taste of power that the Maoists get with their little patrols, because they would never make it in the real military. So they're cosplaying, but see, they're racking up federal charges. These are not local little police and local mall cops. These are federal officers, and they don't get that. They keep tempting fate. And it's really stupid.
Stay back on pictures. Just stay back.
Yeah, shit's getting real to them now. They're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, can somebody call my mom? Yeah. No, you go into federal prison, bro.
I recognize you. Put your creds down. You're fine. If you got creds, pull them out. I got you. Thank you. Legitimate, please. We're crazy. Okay. So these guys are all
unreal. Wasting your life wasting your time out here for these Democrats because their policies are so damn unpopular. Nobody with a functioning brain would vote for them. So they're getting these young people out here, just like Mao did. Mao Zedong did the same thing in China. He brainwashed the younger ones from the time they were little, and then they get to be young adults, and they work for Mao because Mao turned them against all officers and anybody in authority. He turned them against anybody with money. If you have money, you're the credential class, you're the bourgeoisie, so you're automatically a target. But see, these kids don't understand that they are in serious trouble. This is going to follow them. This is a felony. Stalking federal officers during an active operation? How dumb do you have to be? Look at their little faces. Look at them with their masks on. Look at their little faces like, oh shit, this is real. I tell you what, call Kamala Harris. Call the dumb politicians who keep telling y'all to go out here and do this. Call Hakeem Jeffries, weird, sleepy, funny looking ass. Call Hakeem Jeffries. Call Jasmine Crockett. Call AOC. Call Bernie Sanders. Tell them to come bail you out of federal prison. See what happens. It actually bothers me that this is happening to these young people. They're willing to ruin their lives for Democrats. They are willing to risk their lives and their freedom for loser-ass Democrats. Here's what they're saying in Denver, because, I can't go by without saying something about this retarded Stalingrad, as I call it, state of confusion. And this is Kyle Clark. We cannot stand this little pussy here in Denver and in Colorado. He is a shill and an activist who works for 9 News that is an activist, loser, communist raghag. It's not even real news. It's anything against Trump, anything against MAGA, anything against conservatives. So we cannot stand Kyle Clark. And I don't know who this female is, but she's just dumb as a bag of hammers, just like him.
ICE says its officers can forcibly enter homes during immigration operations without judicial.
Yeah, the Supreme Court said it is so.
Warrants. Thanks for joining us here at 9 o'clock. I'm Alexandra Lewis.
And I'm Kyle Clark. This ICE policy just revealed is a shift from long-held constitutional norms.
No, it's not a constitutional. No, it's not. He just makes this shit up. 9 News makes it up. No, it's not long-standing constitutional norms. It's norms that ICE agents do not have to present any kind of warrant to pick up individuals who broke and entered this country. That's called breaking and entering. Why do we have to justify the reason why these murderers, rapists, child traffickers, drug dealers, carjackers, why do we have to provide some kind of reason why we want these bastards out of here? Why do we got to justify that? Bullshit.
It came out in a memo that a whistleblower shared with Congress.
Shut up.
The memo says ICE agents are allowed to forcibly enter a home using an administrative warrant if a judge has issued a final order of removal for someone.
What is wrong with that? A judge issued a final order of removal. The illegal alien ignores the final order of removal and just continues without any sort of regard for American law. Why do we have to kiss their stanky ass forever and keep giving them benefits and putting them up on a holy pedestal while abusing American citizens.
Administrative warrants allow officers and agents to make arrests. They're different from judicial warrants, which are signed by magistrates or judges. Those allow entry into homes. The memo goes on to say that they generally should not enter a home before 6 in the morning or after 10 at night, and that they should, quote, only use a necessary and reasonable amount of force to enter a home. This shift comes as the Trump administration drastically expands immigration arrests nationwide, deploying thousands of officers into a mass deportation campaign that's already reshaping enforcement tactics in cities such as.
Shut up. I'm done with his little funny looking ass. Wearing your pants too tight. It's squeezing your what you have left of them little almond-sized balls. Ugh. Anyway. Yes, ICE agents have jurisdiction. They can enter the home when you don't answer the door because they knock first. Bro, these illegals got to get out of here. Bottom line. They got to go. They got to go. They broke into the country. I don't know why they thought they were going to just be able to stay here forever and keep getting benefits and keep stealing from American citizens, which they are clearly doing, as we are finding with all of the Leering centers and the nursing homes and the adult care homes and homelessness. Now we just finding fraud every freaking, it's just fraud. Trillions of U.S. taxpayer dollars have gone to fraud from foreign nationals who are here illegally. We want them out. We want them out. All of them. Not just this the worst of the, no, all. They're all worst. All of them. Because they have no regard for our laws. That's long-standing constitutional norms there, Cal Clark. We already have these laws that have been black letter law in this country for decades that Democrat politicians in Congress fought for and passed legislation, and the president, the executive of the time, signed the with Article 2 authority, signed off on it, and it has become law. Why do we have to go through all this trouble when we already have laws? To get illegal foreign nationals out of our country that have been stealing from us hand over fist for decades, even the ones who work, somebody in their household gets welfare, especially living in Colorado, in Denver. They don't tend to go to rural communities. They go to cities, and they go to replace Black people in the ghettos until they make enough money, and then they move to suburbs out here like Thornton or Commerce City or Westminster or Lakewood, because it doesn't take them long. They're not paying taxes. They got an ITIN number or a stolen social security number of somebody who's either living or dead, and they make all of this money, and then they move to the suburbs. They open a taco truck or a trucking company. I've known people like that who came here illegally, started a trucking company, and they're doing 1,000 times better while American citizens are struggling, and they look at you like you ain't good enough. But they broke into the country, and they've been able to do well because they get incentives that American citizens never have had access to. Your credit has to be spotless, like a brand new mopped floor. If you think you're going to get an SBA loan, nope. But illegals have been getting them. And thank God for the Trump administration and Kelly Loeffler, who is now the SBA administrator, with this wonderful news. Headline from Politico: cuts off non-citizens. Hallelujah. The SBA on Monday issued new policy guidance requiring 100% of all owners of a small business applying for the agency's primary 7A loan program to be U.S. citizens or U.S. nationals within their principal residences are here in the U.S. So you cannot be in a foreign national of any kind, illegal or otherwise, and get access to the 7A loan program anymore. The policy, which is going to be effective 1 March, rescinds the previous policy issued in December that allowed a 7A borrower to have up to 5% of the business's ownership held by a foreign national, green card holder, or U.S. national or citizen living outside the U.S. Now, green card holders who have permanent U.S. residency will no longer be able to own any part of a business applying for the popular small business government loan program. Thank the Holy Jesus Christ of Nazareth. They don't need to be able to get access to small business loans because, see, they come here and they have spotless credit. They have illegal or have lived and been through like 2 bankruptcies. You done been through all kind of changes because of disastrous policies from hell, like under Joe Biden, and prior to that, Barack Hussein, Slim Slacks Obama, that took you to the damn cleaners, and you haven't been able to recover. Remember the 2008 collapse? We've been here for all of the bullshit. So American citizens don't have excellent, shining, brand new Tiffany jewelry credit. A lot of American citizens have toilet credit. And you got to go to a damn loan shark to get a business going. So she says, so Senator Ed Markey and Representative Nydia Velasquez, whatever, bitch, ranking members of the Senate and House Small Business Committees condemned the move. Of course they did. Because now immigrants and illegal aliens are not eligible for small business loans, nor should they be, because they get to the front of the line because they have no debt. Because they either just got here or they never suffered, because they go straight to the Office of Refugee Resettlement and they start getting benefits that we don't qualify for. The Trump administration is stoking the flames of hatred, spreading fear and confusion among immigrants and small business owners. Shut up. Rather than support hardworking legal immigrants to start or expand a business, the Trump SBA is choosing hatred. Hatred, okay. By borrowing green card holders from receiving an SBA loan. The administration's message to immigrants is clear. You are not welcome to pursue the American dream. You damn fucking straight. No, you're not welcome to pursue the American dream, because you know what? The American dream is for American citizens. And we have not had access to SBA loans. I reiterate, because a lot of Americans have been here through all of the financial collapses and the dot-com boom and bust and the great financial crisis, or the GFC. We were here through all that. I know people who got decimated, destroyed, lost everything, and they've had to rebuild. They don't have 850 credit score. Dude. But as we know, with Democrats, it's immigrants first and illegals even more first. That's who they love, because that's their voters. Even though they say that illegals can't vote. Yeah, they've been voting. And now that Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is involved in the operations that came as a result of the Fulton County, Georgia FBI raid last week, we're going to be made very well aware of that information that, yeah, illegals can vote, and they are voting. They have been voting. What's up, Susan Maria 2023? Hi, darling. Thank you. Do you really? Do you really? Well, God bless you, girl. You're on X, DM me. I love to see people who are in Colorado or Denver. Yeah, hit me up. DM me, say what's up. Maybe we'll see you at some events or something, because, you know, the ICE has been spotted in several places in Denver, particularly where Juarez, one of the areas where the illegals tend to hang out is Federal and Alameda area, or anywhere north or south Federal, mostly south Federal, south of Lakewood. ICE has been there conducting operations, and it's good to see. What's up, Amber? Love you too. What's up? How are ya? What's up, my friend? How you doing, pretty girl? Look at you. Y'all say hi to Amber. I love you back, girl. We fighting this fight of faith, because I guess to whom much is given, much is required. And we have been blessed with this beautiful country. I tell you what, I'm angry most of the time. I see what the Democrats have done to this country and what they have done to us, and they actually demand my vote because I'm Black. Because I'm Black, I have to vote for you. I'm Black, so I got to vote for Democrats. Have you seen the videos of this? Have you seen the videos of these Antifa types? These communists got in the face of a Black ICE agent and called him, you know what? Hold on. How can we say more? Yeah, I understand, John. I get it. I get it. But see, what they're trying to do now is say, oh, well, we don't want the files released. But in July of last year, they wanted the files released. Now they don't. We can't, like, these things are meant to divide MAGA. They are doing this on purpose to keep people fighting about things that we don't have any control over, nor should we have any business arguing over. We're going so close to the midterms right now. We need all hands on deck. We need everybody paying attention and focus. We can fight after we win the midterms. We can all just go and do a freaking Royal Rumble. Is actually coming up on WWE. So we can do a Royal Rumble, but it needs to be after the midterms. Right now, we got to focus on midterms. I'm not focused on Epstein victims. They've been victims for 30 years. I think they need to, because none of this would even be happening if it wasn't for President Trump and his transparency in his administration. Joe Biden didn't even mention Jeffrey Epstein, not once, not once. But it was show all about white supremacy in January 6th. The victims, if they don't want to shut up, they can hit us up after the midterms, after we win. But right now, we cannot focus on these females who are in their 40s and 50s that happened to them. You know, sorry it happened, but we are not going to clog up the news cycle with your bullshit and you're crying right now. Go get a therapist, go take a vacation, go get a massage, or do whatever you got to do. But we got a country. We have to keep the damn republic. People don't understand how vital this is right now. We'll talk about that in another video, but these Democrats have said what they will do to us if they get back in power. We don't have to wonder what they'll do. To January 6th event attendees, they will do 1,000 times worse to anybody who's connected to the president, anybody who's in MAGA, anybody. They will put, we can't let them back in power. So Epstein's victims, y'all gonna have to shut the fuck up for a minute. That's right, for the republic. And God bless you, sir, for saying that's right. For the republic. For the republic. Okay? We gotta win the midterm. If they want to whine after no clog their social media, I plan to. Hold on. Where is this? And then we're gonna 9 blah blah blah. Where is this video? Where is it? They prove that they are the real racists. They are the real KKK. Hold on. I'm going to prove it. Deep down, they hate us. What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother? Thank you, my friend. How are you? I'm glad you're here. Welcome to another week of chaos. Look at this. Look at this. This is Nick Sortor on X. And other people are posting it, but I found Nick's first. So this is, he says some tranny started berating a black ICE agent, and the agent looked him right in the eyes and said, "Are you a man?" He called him, listen, I'll let you listen for yourself.
Yeah, family should be ripped apart by higher energy. Like we should rip people apart from their families.
Are you a man?
Wow. Wow, is that a question?
Wow.
Okay. How do you feel about ripping people from their families? Does that feel good?
Fucking house nigga in here. Sir, I need to move. Fucking house nigga working for the fucking KKK.
Wait, what was that? What did he call it? What? See these white liberal communist Democrats? Listen to what they said. What did they call him? A house what? Listen.
On their families. Does that feel good?
Fucking house nigga working for the fucking KKK.
What's wrong with you people?
Why are you calling a woman?
They called that black ICE agent a house nigga. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm repeating but they didn't say it the way I said it. I said it like rappers. These white liberals are the real racists. This is what they actually think about us. But they're supposedly out here protecting Somalis that clearly have dark skin, but somehow American Black folks to them are just like it was during the days of the They said he works for the KKK. These white liberals are racist as fuck. They are racist. Listen to this one more time. Wow.
Okay. How do you feel about ripping people from their families? Does that feel good?
Look at House Nigger here. Sir, I need to move. Look at House Nigger working for the fucking KKK.
Yeah, you heard exactly the same thing I heard. They called that black exactly what you think he said. Who's the real racist? Because I've never heard President Trump use that term. I don't ever hear conservatives use that term with me. And I've always been like this. I have always surrounded myself with people who are of the same ideology. Well, not really an ideology. It just is the way that we are wired. They are the fascists. They are the racists. But they claim conservatives are racist. But they literally call that black dude. I said, boy, I don't want to hear shit else from Democrats. And it's to the point where he said, what the fuck is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? See, it's the Mao effect. It is Mao Zedong that is still the communist Marxist activity is alive in this country, and they have turned these young people kind of figured out that dude ain't who he said he is. Just like Abigail Spanberger, that wicked white witch of the East. That crazy sumbitch. Sol Rivera said both sides are racist. Yeah, I don't see that coming from conservatives, so you can miss me with that shit. I don't see it coming from conservatives. I'll post your comment, but all I see is that level of don't deal with that shit. We got better things to do than deal with color and race. There's no both sides. It's not both sides. Both sides are not cutting the fool and trying to shut down the country to protect illegal aliens. The Democrat Party tried to replace Black people with illegal aliens. They did it. Color revolution, communist Marxist takeover. They have got these people brainwashed. They have got them brainwashed, and Trump is trying to save the damn country from complete and total ruin. And they're fighting him every step of the way. And Sol Rivera, what's actually happening is they are using but see, they're done with Black folks because we're too mouthy now. We know too much. We're thinking for ourselves. So now the Latinos are the new slave class. This is just the Civil War again. They are fighting to keep their slaves in America. Period. Period. They're fighting to keep their slaves, just like that's what led to the Civil War. And then Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves and the Emancipation Proclamation. The Southern Dixie white liberal Democrats are now Marxists, communists who hold no allegiance to anyone but themselves, are literally fighting to keep their slaves. Their slaves are Mexicans, Central and Southern slaves. It used to be black slaves, but they're done with black. Because too many black folks walked off the plantation. And they're sick of sending all the bloodhounds out. So they just imported their new voters. Why do you think they call them the new Americans? They have no use for us anymore. They're done with us. So no, it's not both sides, because it's the conservatives who are trying to save the country from complete and total ruin. If these Democrats get back in power, they're pissed off. They will destroy this country. There will be nothing left. All USAID is getting turned back on. All the money is they're going to start making you pay 50, 60% tax to fund their illegal aliens. They are going to bring us back into the WHO and the Paris Climate Accord and the UN and all of this shit that President Trump has done away with and said, yeah, no, we ain't taking care of y'all no more. Figure it out. Grow up. It's unbelievable what is happening right now. And I'm telling you, we have the person that God put in that position is Donald Trump, because nobody else would have taken it to this limit. Nobody would have taken it this far. They would have said, nope, never mind. We're just going to keep status quo. Absolutely, they helped Trump to win. But my point is, again, it's the Democrats who are using Latinos as slaves. They're the new slave class. They are the new slave class. They only need them for cheap labor, votes, and population. That's it. To beef up their census numbers and get them more House and Senate seats. They don't care about anybody but themselves. They don't care about Latinos. They don't give a shit. They brought everybody over here. You notice a lot of the illegal aliens were from Central and South America, not so much Mexico, but Mexico's been coming over here forever anyway. A lot of them were from Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Peru, Uruguay, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador. Come on over. Come on. Come on. Victims. They need victims. And yes, you are right. It was Latinos who helped the president win because they're sick of Democrats' bullshit. So no, it's not a both sides argument. I don't subscribe to it. Well, both sides. No. Because people are trying to say, well, both sides are violent. No, both sides are not violent. We ain't violent. We just want to be left the fuck alone, bro. But Democrats are nosy and they don't want us to be left alone. They want to be all up in our grill, man. And yes, we must pass the SAVE Act. We have to pass the SAVE Act. There is no alternative. Same day voting. One ballot per one person, not 37 ballots. Or like they were running them through 3 or 4 times. Bro, we watched them do it. Here, Here's a ballot. The same ballot, they run it through like 3, 4, 5 times. And now they're freaking out because Fulton County got raided. Oh, please let it be Colorado next. But I know they're probably going to go Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona. They're probably going to go to the swing states first, or I don't know. But yeah, Sol Rivera, Joe Riley, what's up, my brother? That's right. Pass the SAVE Act. Sol Rivera says we need the SAVE Act. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And yes, Amber, thank you for reminding us. Tina Peters is still locked up for shit Jenna Griswold did. So yeah, we need to free Tina Peters. And that crazy psycho is running for a term. It's real bizarre. She's just trying to stay out of handcuffs. Not going to work, fatty. Not going to work. All right, you guys, it's like 10 after 11. And on the East Coast, it's like 10 after 100. So you guys, time to go night-night. I got back kind of late. I've been gone all day. So sorry, so late. I'll get on earlier next time. And we'll have a lot to talk about, I'm sure. And let's see how this SAVE Act thing goes tomorrow. God bless you guys. Thank you for participating and hanging out with me. Everybody, I appreciate you. God bless you, Miss Amber, and everybody in here. Sol Rivera, thank you for your comments. Mr. Riley, what's up? Jim, thank you for reposting the stream. Susan Maria, what's up, girl? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Who else did I miss in here? Susan Land, hi, baby. How you doing? How are you? Mr. John Paul, what's up, my brother? I'm just going back through the comments. Miss Patricia, thank you, girl. God bless you guys. John Bartley, thank you. Thank you very much. Over on Twitch, we got Bob Betta. Welcome. Bry over on X in Seattle. Michael Johns, Roger Vasallo, thank you. God bless you guys. I appreciate you. And we will holler at you sooner rather than later. Peace out.